school. My husband, have work.
Some of the children stop coming to school, and we discover that they become hawkers on the street.
1 out of 12 children are out of school.
That shouldn't be. The girl can do as much as the boys can do also.
Despite strong results by successive governments in Nigeria and calls from different quarters to end national learning crisis, concerns over the country's rising number of out-of-school children, especially girls, is at an alarming second rate.
Education is a priority in Mr. President's 8-point agenda, and under education we have many thematic areas. One of such thematic areas is returning children back to school, and most especially the girl child. 10,600,000 roaming about is unacceptable to Mr. President. Also for us to ensure that we back the girl child education and many out of schools that are going back to school with necessary skills that can afford them to stand on their own, contribute meaningfully to the development of this country. Definitely, you can only do that when you are educated. And most also importantly, to ensure that girl child can take part in decision making.
Mrs. Christiana Friday, a mother of 5 and a corn seller in a suburb of FCT, laments how economic hardship has forced her children out of school.
My name is Christiana Friday. My children dey house. I no see person go help me make dem go school. Na corn I dey manage. My husband no get work. Na the corn I dey manage, na dey eat food. I no see person they go help me. I born 5 children. I no see anybody. They go help me, they will go school. All of them dey house. Since how many years? I don't see anybody, they will go school. See what I dey say. The money, come after like that. Now only food or money. I know have money, they will go school.
According to a recent data shared by the education manager of the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, Jitaro Sakamoto, at an education conference organized by the French Institute, Nigeria, in Abuja, 7.6 million girls are out of school in Nigeria, noting that in primary and junior secondary schools, 3.9 million and 3.7 million are missing respectively. Despite government interventions, Mrs. Regina Ubole, a teacher in a government secondary school in Abuja, said some students are still on the street hawking in the name of harsh economy.
Like a particular girl in SS1, she stopped coming to school. Like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, the classmates looked for their house. When they got there, they discovered that their auntie stopped her from coming to school, and she's now selling. We have another case for Lake. She has stayed with somebody for like 13 years now. She did primary school, junior school, and now she's in SS3. And the auntie told her that there's no money to pay for her egg, blah, 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 that she should stop. So we are wondering, you have stayed with somebody for like 13 years. We don't really know actually what's the problem. And it cuts across all ethnic group. This Falakena is Yoruba. While Ene, the experience we had last year, she's from Benue. And when they are looking for people that will stay with them, all this house help, they go for the girls. You hardly see people going for boys to stay with them. So they don't take the girl child's education seriously. So these are some of the experiences that we discover. And then, like in the government schools, about 50 to 60% of students you see stay with people that come to pick them from far and near. And they keep them in their houses. Some of them don't even go to school at all, but they bring children to school. They bring children to school, they come back to pick them. When you ask them, they will say their auntie did not put them in school.
Stakeholders have identified insecurity, high rate of poverty, and poor implementation of the Child Rights Act as potent factors that have forced many children out of school, especially in the north. Gloria Ukbe stressed that Government have the capacity to come up with initiatives to get more children, especially girls, off the street and back to school.
But the government can help girls. They can make special provision for girls, especially those that have been abandoned, those that lost their parents, or those whose parents are not enlightened enough, that feel that sponsoring girls is not as important as educating the boys. The salaries of most families have not increased. Their earnings have not increased. But school fees have increased. Groceries have increased. Transportation has increased. So obviously their income cannot pay their bills. They also cannot pay the fees. So everybody is trying to cut down on their expenses. If previously you were managing to pay a fee of, let's say, 25,000 naira with your 50,000 naira salary or 75,000, you have 3 children. Now the prices of provisions, every foodstuff has gone up. The school your child is attending previously for 25,000 has increased to 35. Definitely, you will want to opt for something cheaper, or even opt out. Some parents also feel that it's a waste of time and money spending so much on the girl. The girl will end up in another man's house, and they prefer to focus on the male child. But that shouldn't be. The girl can do as much as the boys can do also. But a lot of things that people around the society, NGOs, well-meaning Nigerians can do to help these people, especially. Most girls are victims of abuse because they dropped out of school, they cannot work, and so the easiest thing to do is to just follow anybody that beckons on them. But we can actually avoid that trend by sponsoring 1 or 2 people.
On his part, founder of Brain Trust International School, Kaduna State, Dr. Stephen Ohepo Isaac, however, attributed cultural belief as one of the factors contributing to the menace.
We have a lot of school dropouts. Children that are supposed to be in school and are not in school, and the reasons for this can be attributed to so many factors, among which, as popularly captured, cultural factors, religious factors, gender factors, poverty, among others. These factors have played a role in not permitting some of the children to get the basic necessities of life, especially education, which would have given them liberty to knowledge, which should have given them the opportunity to good life and be of high contribution to the society. Also, the UNESCO has made us to understand that over 10 million children that are supposed to be in school are not in school. This is a very large population and poses threat to every societal development. The situation is not a welcoming one, since we want a society that wants to attain a goal based on the SDG. From my experience, of course, I've had situations where I witnessed children, because of lack of sufficient economic power, let me put it, economic power, that the parents will be able to continue with the education of the children or educating the children in private school. This, I can tell you, happens from experience almost every time. People witness 2, 3 dropping out, and some even move to the public schools and are still not able to continue with their education there because they cannot even have the opportunity to eat, to have food to eat before even going to school. Despite the fact that the government have a policy school feeding program, it still have not sufficiently captured the attention of some of the children because these days some of these policies they lack adequate willpower. The government have policies on ground, but the people to implement and monitor a number of times don't carry it to the grassroots as it should be, and this has made some of these programs not to be adequately achieved as it should be. But in any case, we still give kudos to government for funding, and we still encourage government to do more to the education sector, particularly that we still look up to the Nigerian government trying to put at least that 25% into the education sector, because like I earlier said, education is the bedrock to every national development, and where we are now, we can do better if we put more resources into our education.
I'm Rose Ene Adebayo, and this report was made possible by Gender Strategy Advancement International with support from the Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism and MacArthur Foundation.